Good morning, everyone. I want to tell you how to create a template in Microsoft Word. Today, I want to talk about the pagination and creating the automatic table of contents and table of figures. So first thing we want to do is create our document list. And you should have done this a long time ago. I asked you to do it for one of the conventions assignments. So the first thing you're going to have is the originality report. Originality report memo. So that's the first thing we're going to see. Then we have the title page. And then we have the table of contents, and then the list of tables and figures, and then the abstract. And then we have the introduction. So the introduction is what starts the document proper. Everything else is front matter. Now, originality report memo, it's key to remember that that's not actually considered a part of the document. That's just something we're requiring for the class. So you wouldn't need that for your future documents. We're going to go ahead and format these. Let's go ahead and put purpose, background, and scope, and then discussion and criteria 1, whatever it is. Remember, it would actually say the criteria. And then we have explanation, data, and interpretation. And then it would be criteria 2, and so on, until you get to the conclusion, which has the 3 parts as well, as I talked about it in another video. So we're going to format these just to make it easy. And how I want to do that is I want to go to View and go to Outline View. Okay, so View, Outline View. Anything that's going to go into our table of contents, we want to make a heading 1. So the list of tables and figures, we want to make a heading 1. And all I can do is grab it and move it. And you can see here it says level 1, or I can click on it and click all the way left to heading 1. So introduction is going to be heading 1, but then purpose is actually heading 2. So I just want to make sure it says heading 2. And then I can keep dragging these to make them fit where they're supposed to go. Okay, so the criteria would be heading 2, and then explanation, data, interpretation would actually be heading 3 or level 3. So we've created a hierarchy here. But I'm going to close the outline view now, and I'm going to change it from blue, because whenever you see the blue text, I want you to think of that Rolling Stone song, Paint It Black. Okay, I see blue text and I want to paint it black. That's what you want to do. So I'm going to come up to my styles. So you can see it says heading 1. And if I didn't see it there, I could choose heading 1 and I'll right click it and modify it so that it's black. Okay, and I'm going to use the APA headings here, which are generally in Times New Roman or another serif font. And we're going to make that 12 point and bold. Okay, so that's going to be that. So I'll change all my heading 1s. And then the heading 2, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to choose heading 2, modify it. I'm going to make it black, bold, 12 point, Times New Roman, and those are italicized. Okay, and then heading 3 would be similar, except it's all the same, bold and italicized, except it is indented by 0.5. Okay, so I went to format, went to indent 0.5. Okay, so that's what they'll look like. Oh, I didn't change it to blue. I'm sorry, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now whenever I have any other things that I label as heading 1, heading 2, or heading 3, they will be formatted that way. Okay, and this is APA format for these headings that I'm using. Now I want to get my pagination down. Pagination is just the art of putting in page numbers. Now, in order to do that, I want to click this paragraph button. Okay, the paragraph button, it's also the show formatting, show hide formatting. And I want to go to a different view. I want to go to the draft view. What I want to do here is I want to put a page break after this. I could go to layout breaks and go to page, and it just puts a page break. And after the table of contents, I actually want to put a different kind of break. I want to put a section break. So I'm going to go to breaks, layout, breaks, next page. And then we're going to have another change after abstract. So I'm going to do the same thing there. Section break, next page. And here I want my table of contents on a separate page. So I'm going to do another page break, not a section break. And I can do that by going to breaks page, or I can just do Control Enter. Much easier. So Control Enter. Okay, and this is what it'll look like. So it should be page break after the memo, section break after the title page break, section break after the abstract. And that's important in order for us to get our pagination correct. So now I can go to View, Print Layout, and you'll see everything is on a separate page. Now what I want to do is I want to go to the first page. I'm just going to walk you through it. The originality report memo is not considered a party document. It's not even numbered. Okay, it's not going to get a page number. The title page would normally be the first thing in the document. It gets a number, but you don't see it because you see it on the first page. So you don't need a number on it. So the table of contents is going to be the first thing that gets a page number. Okay, it's the first thing that gets a page number, but the title page is counted. So the table of contents would actually be page 2. So what I'm going to do is click in the header. So I got to click in the header, and I'm going to click up here in on the right side, the right justified. And you can see it says header section 2, but also look at this part over here, same as previous. That means that anything I change here, it's going to change in the previous sections. I don't want that. So I'm going to go, because I'm in the header, it should be in the header and footer menu. It'll say link to previous. I'm going to uncheck that. So it's no longer linked to the previous one. And you can see where it said same as previous, that's gone away. So now I can go back to where I want my page number, and I can format my page numbers. So I'm just going to page number because I'm in the header and the footer, and go to page number, format. And because this is front matter, it's actually going to be little Roman numerals. And I want it to start at 2. I want it to start at 2 because that's what this page is going to be. And I click OK. Nothing happens because I haven't inserted them. So then I'm going to go to current position. And there I go. I've got my little Roman numeral 2. But up on the previous pages, I have nothing. So table of contents is little Roman numeral 2. List of tables and figures is 3. Abstract is 4. But then introduction is regular number 5. Why is that? Well, it's because of this link to previous. So I'm going to go to that one. You can see it's header section 3. And I'm going to check link to previous. So it's no longer linked to the previous one. So I can change the formatting here and say start at 1, and it doesn't change the previous ones. Okay, so now everything after that is going to be paginated according to regular Arabic numerals, starting with the introduction. So that's how you get those different kinds of page numbers. You do it by adding section breaks. And you can use section breaks if you needed to turn one page landscape, for example, or if you needed to have one page that had multiple columns, you could put a section break above and before, uncheck that link to previous, and then change the formatting on a certain page or on a certain 10 pages if it's a much longer document. So section breaks tell Microsoft Word, we're going to have a change in formatting here. Don't do it for all the rest of the document. So that's what section breaks do, and that's why you use them here. Now, to insert our table of contents, it's really easy. But let's get some data here. First, I'm going to uncheck the show hide formatting button because I don't want to see all those formatting buttons. So I'm going to go to data because this is where I'll probably have some data. And of course, I'm going to insert a table. I need to state table 1 shows a penguin. That wouldn't be a table. Shows the cost data for the XYZ. So I want a serif font, not a sans serif font. So I'm going to edit normal so that it is Times New Roman 12 point. Okay. So now I can insert my table. So I go to insert table, and I'm just going to draw a table. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I want to use Microsoft Word's automatic caption feature. So I'm going to right click on the table on the crossbar. I'm going to right click it and go to insert caption. I wanted to say table 1 and cost for the XYZ. So that's like the little title, and then you can put a note. All costs are taken from 1, 2, and 5. And it's going to be above because that's how tables are labeled. I'm going to click OK. Okay, and that's how I would do it. But notice it's blue. So I'm going to come up here. It's a caption style. That's important. I'm going to modify it and change it to black. And I want it 12 point, just like my other text. Okay, and if I didn't want it italicized, I could change that as well. Now I also want to put in a figure. Figure 1 shows a penguin. And now I can put in a picture of a penguin. I'm going to go to pictures, stock images, penguin. Okay, there's a penguin. I'm going to insert a penguin. Okay, just insert a picture. Doesn't matter. But that's too big. I don't need it that big. That's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to make it smaller. Oh, it reversed it. Well, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to insert caption. So I right click it and go to insert caption, but it's not a table anymore. I want to change it to figure. So figure 1, a penguin. Emperor penguins mate for life. Doesn't matter. Click OK, and now I've got it. And notice it's not black, and it's formatted the way I want it. That's because I changed the styles. Now, whenever I have another thing labeled as caption, it's going to put it in there. Now, because I have used styles for both the captions and for the headings, it's going to make the rest of this very easy. Okay, so I can go to my table of contents page. Watch how easy this is to make a table of contents. I go to references, table of contents, choose automatic table 2, and there's my table of contents. Except I see blue text. I want to paint it black. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to make this into the heading. Now, I didn't make that into a style because I don't want the table of contents listed in my table of contents. That's kind of ridiculous. But the list of tables and figures would be, as with the abstract. So under list of tables and figures, I can come here under list of tables and figures, go again to references, and this time I'm going to insert a table of figures, but I need to change some stuff about it. Because if I do it this way, it will only insert a list of tables, and then I'd have to insert a separate list of figures. I just want it all together. Some styles like APA require you to have it separate, but for this, we're going to do it all together. So I'm going to change this to none, okay? Because I don't want it to just do the caption label figure. I'm going to change it to none. And then I'm going to go to options, and I'm going to change it so that it does the style caption. So anything it sees as the caption style, it's going to put in. That's how I can get it to do both. And then I click OK, and there's my list of tables and figures. All right. So what we did, we changed everything to styles. We went to outline view and changed all to the different styles. And then we went to put in our section breaks and page breaks and made our pagination correct. And then we put in some tables and figures and used the caption style. And then we could go back and make our table of contents and make our list of tables and figures. Now, if I wanted to change anything here, I can just go to insert update table and do update entire table if I changed any page numbers, and then it would change the page numbers. Okay, hope that helps. So it's pretty easy. You'll probably have to follow along as I did it, but once you get the hang of it, once you learn how to use the styles and the section breaks, it comes pretty quickly. All right, good luck. I look forward to reading your reports.